Hey everyone, it's Kai, and yeah, the last few days, ever since that Overdress announcement, has been an endless hype train. You know, the train just keeps on going, people just getting more and more hyped, and maybe that's a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing. Like, the Vanguard community really hasn't been this excited for maybe the past like 3 years or so, or 4, or maybe even more, right? This is the first time I've seen someone so, like, the community so like united, so happy. And, you know, everyone's just making content, they're making memes, they're making good memes, right? They're making good memes. It's not like negative memes, it's actually good memes. We've got waifu wars again, like, you know, Team Tamari and stuff, but yeah, who cares about that? But it's overall just been a great experience. Just everyone's super excited. And I kind of want to just compare the beginning of Overdress, which is like the announcement, versus the beginning of V, which was kind of funny. All right, so let's go back to V a bit. And I think the most fun thing about, well, the funniest thing I think about V was the theme of it, right? The theme of V was simple, swift, and characteristic. Now, characteristic in Japan, they said it was character, so it basically gives, like, they mean they want to have each clan have their own character. And then after they say this, they go, well, basically, we're going to divide all the clans into 3 gifts, and that will define what they basically are. So I always found that really funny, and I don't know if you guys find it funny or not. I just found, like, yeah, every clan is gonna be kind of unique, have their own character, but they're all gonna fit into this triangle of paper, scissors, rock. Now, as V progressed, this theme that they had literally just kind of didn't work well at all, right? I'll break it down why. The only thing that probably worked was Swift, right? They wanted games to be faster. They didn't want games to drag on like in G or in Premium, I guess, because games can really drag on in Premium. So basically, everyone died at third turn, and sure, they've accomplished their goal, but this goal by itself was just very, very lame, in my opinion. But let's start with the first one. Simple, right? The game has become a bit too advanced. You need a G zone, and you need to buy all this other stuff. So we're going to implement, we're just going to dumb it down. Well, not dumb it down, we're going to simplify it. We're going to simplify it and make it so anyone can just jump into the game and play. And I guess that worked for the first set. You know, you buy TD, and you buy like one of your 4 favorite clans. But if you bought Nova Grappler, you'd be gypped. But yeah, you either bought OTT Cargo and Raw Paladin, and you were set for the next X months, I'd guess. Unless your clan was outside of that, then you should play G Regulation or Premium. So, but I guess they simplified it. And although they want the game to be simple, you're basically negating like X years of progression of the game, right? You had six years, I guess, of development and interesting like history in the game, but you're gonna throw it away for just start off and make everything simple, and then you're gonna abide by the idea that the game needs to stay simple. That's not good, right? As a game progresses, as a game evolves, you want the game to just, you know, continue. You want to have like the idea that it's easy to get into but hard to master. But if you're going by the idea that the game has to be simple, and you're designing or thinking behind that mantra, then your game is going to stay simple, and that is not something you want to do, because that stunts the progression of the game. And I think in V we kind of saw that, because the first 12 months was kind of just keeping it simple by giving everything kind of simple effects. Then the next year after that, well, we still have to kind of keep it simple, but it just developed into that there was nothing really interesting about a lot of cards. You can't play like cards that just give plus 5k every single for like 3 years, right? You can't do that. And by I think with gifts as well, it's like a simple idea of power, right? This 1 gift equals power, 2 gifts equal 2 times the power. If we just give you 2 gifts, right, then it's simple, you know, it gives you. So overall, I think the simple idea really didn't work. And I mean, this is the meme stuff, right? We got, like, this is so simple. This card effect is so simple. It's like 3 blocks of, well, two lines of text and a giant block detailing what you can and can't do, how this is activated and all that. So this idea of simple really doesn't matter. Now, I've mentioned that Swift worked because the game ended at turn 3. Basically, the time going first was so amazing. So the idea of Swift worked. How the implementation of Swift was just not good at all, because no one likes just dying on turn 3. No one likes just having the game decided by the dice roll. And yeah, it's like that. And then last thing is characteristic. Now, characteristic or character Bushiroad really hasn't been able to do 24 clans properly. Let's be real here. It's been 10 years, and some clans still don't have a proper identity of what they really wanted to do, right? A lot of clans in the first year of V got a new identity, right? And then the second year of V, they lost that identity for another one. And then in the third year of V, they basically took someone else's identity. And we're just talking about Mega Colony, right? And then, like, what? Like, Bermuda gets every identity? I don't know. So, they've never really done clan identity well for, like, 10 years. Even in G, right? Mega Colony at the beginning was about resting. Now it's about Colony, got Kodori, got all this new stuff. What is Murakumo? Is it just a bad Nubatama? Or what is Nubatama? You know? Is it just a bad... We don't know, right? So, they've never done clan identity well. And in 3 years, they weren't able to do that either. Because, one, you negated your X years of development of the game. Because it's just, you don't want to use that. Or you have ideas from it, but you kind of just said, screw it, we're rebooting the game from the beginning. And two, you need to keep it simple and swift. You need to keep the game simple and swift. So any harder effects or card text just cannot be implemented. But they did implement hard card text like this. So, I don't know. I think this 3 was kind of a failure. It didn't really work well. And in terms of how the game stayed simple, it really didn't. Prices increased. All this power creep happened. And all in a span of 3 years. So, overall, the basis for this idea, this new system, this new imaginary gift system, this is why I think a lot of, like, veterans really hated this imaginary gift. A lot of new players probably liked it. Or they found it was fun for like 2 months and then disappeared because there was just after what? I don't have the data for this, but you could tell from your locals that after the first X months or year that the game really started dropping off. And I mean, there's COVID last year, but even before that, you could start seeing a big drop off, right? But overall, I don't think this, like, limiting yourself to this design is extremely short-sighted. It's just saying, this is what we're gonna do for the reboot. And again, like, the reboot itself, it was just nostalgia pandering. Nothing really new and fresh. Basically, they compressed 7 years of their history into 3 to try and make it simple, swift, and characteristic. But we can tell in hindsight that it didn't really work. But again, the basis of V just wasn't very sound in my opinion. Now, let's take a look at Overdress, right? Overdress doesn't have any promises, apart from they really don't want to do rotation again, which, okay, it might be, I don't think it's a promise, they just said that they don't want to do it, and it's fine, but they haven't done anything, they haven't really promised anything saying the game has to be this, this, and this, you know, because by limiting yourself to that, you're basically just hampering your design process. But they've done things to make the overall game slightly better. So Nations, right? I mean, people will talk about clan identity, but Nations was just kind of a thing that really needs to happen. They could not do clan identity, so let's fix that. Let's fix clan identity. We're gonna compress like clans into nations so that we can support everything, right? We can support everything. It's not you wait 12 months for your support. It's you get support every booster pack, you're more engaged with the game, and thus this fixes that problem. And it creates more avenues for like developing cards and creating more character for the sets. And another thing they haven't done is they haven't said this game has to be simple, because that's silly, right? Why does a game have to be simple? It has to be accessible, and they've really done accessibility. 333 yen start decks, $4 USD start deck. That is accessible. That's doing simple more than what V could do, right? And swift. Why does a game need to be swift? A game needs to be able to end, that's for sure, but it doesn't have to be forced to be quick, right? You want to have depth to the game, right? You want the game to be simple to get into, accessible, but you want depth in the game that people stay around to play these epic games, not I roll like a 6 at the beginning and I get to start, so I get my gift first, and there is nothing you can do, right? That is not what people want to play. So scrap the idea of swift, simple, but, you know, characteristic is kind of important. And again, in terms of characteristic, they did way more this time because they have to develop these nations now, these new nations, versus the this one where they go, okay, we've got Force, Excel, and Protect. And remember all your favorite clans? Well, we're gonna reboot 6-7 years of history and start again. So you're gonna see your Alfreds again. You're gonna see your Blaster Blades. That's not fresh. That's not new. That's not interesting. I mean, you get nostalgia pandering. You go, oh my god, Blaster Blades back. I'm so happy. Aichi is back. I'm so happy. You're not happy. Let's be real. You're not happy this year. But this new stuff, people are fresh. People are happy. New characters, people are fresh. It's just fresh, right? It's happy. It's happiness abound, right? You can see it in all the chats, all the groups. Everyone's happy. This one, even though this is like, people are saying, oh, I don't like it. 100 million power seems kind of jank. Seems kind of lucksack, but it's still fresh. It's something new to the game. It's not like, I think the newest thing that they added in V was, well, you remember your gifts? Now they have Force 2 and Excel 2, and Excel 2 actually just destroyed the game. But, I mean, this could destroy the game. We don't know, but it's actually fresh. It is actually fresh. And yeah, I mean, basically everything that Overdress so far has done, Swift, right? Swift, we don't need that. We don't need Swift. We want to build 10 years worth, at least 10 years worth of Vanguard is Overdress, right? That establishes confidence, longevity. You want the game to be simple. This is simple. 330 yen starter decks, 5 nations. That is simple. That means support comes out every single time. People can get into the game, and there can always be new blood because start decks, you know, just buy it. 330 yen, dude. 4 USD, right? Very simple. And characters. I've said it before. There is already characters. They've even said that each, like with a booster pack, you can build 2 decks for each nation. So in terms of character, we're not going by nation, but we're going by bosses. We're going by, and that's basically what people always went with anyway. I'm a Shadow Paladin main. Basically means, well, I like Luard, or I like Raging Form. Those are my buds, right? It's not like, well, I care about Claret. Not really. Well, then you're not really a Shadow Paladin main, right? You're a Raging Form simp. But here, it's just the same idea, except under a different banner, a nation banner under the clan banner. So that is pretty much the reason why Overdress has been looking so amazing, and everyone's so excited about it, because it's basically doing what V wanted to do, except better. It's just V but better, right? So I have big hopes for Overdress, and I'm sure they're gonna reveal more info. We're gonna like a lot of it. We're also gonna probably hate some of it, right? We're gonna go, I don't like this part, but at the end of the day, we're gonna see when it finally comes out in March or April how it is and whether it's good or not, and we'll see then. But for now, it's looking to be good. It's looking to be good. So that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think. I know you guys are also pretty hyped about it. What are your worries, and if you're on Team UU or not, right? Bye.